Good evening. What's going on? Just after 5:30, that is 5:34 Eastern here in the evening hours to be exact. It's Tuesday, January 7th. We're just days away, of course, from Super Wild Card Weekend getting underway. I appreciate you guys for being with me for the second consecutive time. It feels like literally just we blinked and now we're here for our live stream 2.0. Sarah and I went 2 hours. We don't go 2 hours typically. We go 2 hours on game days sometimes, draft weekend, so on and so forth. It's usually special circumstances. Maybe that was the case today because of TJ Flock, who dropped in a super chat that I think inspired at least 15 to 20 minutes worth of conversation. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that. If you haven't already done so, go check that out over on the Vault side of things. Tonight is brought to you by my friends at Preston Automotive Group. They've been with me for well over a year, and they continue to support the channel, which is much appreciated. And here's what I've got coming up. Derrick Henry responds to those who have taken away or tried to take away, that is, from Lamar Jackson's MV3 candidacy. Tuesday's injury report, the first of this week. I'll have some reactions to that, including what's going on with Zay Flowers, and a whole lot more is what I have coming up. I appreciate you guys for being here with me. As always, let's dive right in. And first and foremost, just take one more look. I'm sure we will often throughout the next few days at what the playoff picture looks like on both sides of the conferences. Of course, for the AFC, it'll be the Ravens and Steelers battling it out in a 3 versus 6 seed matchup with a chance to go to the divisional round with a win. They'll likely head to Buffalo if that's the case. But hey, Denver sneaks in as the 7 seed, and don't count out rookie Bo Nix and, of course, Sean Payton, the head coach of the Denver Broncos. The other wild card matchup will be a 4 versus 5 seed. That's Houston against the Chargers. And, of course, Kansas City has the top overall seed that comes along with the first round bye. On the NFC side of things, Detroit has the top overall seed and the bye. In this 2 versus 7, it's Philadelphia versus Green Bay, Tampa versus Washington in the 3 versus 6, and the Rams versus Minnesota in the 4 versus 5. There's a ton of different events going on this week, as you can see on the right-hand side of this graphic, courtesy of Ravens Productions, car stenciling, Ravens rallies, Purple Friday Fuel Up, a Friday Caravan, the pop-up Flock Shop is open from January 9th to the 10th, 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. You can create your own billboard, so on and so forth. BaltimoreRavens.com is where you can find more information on all of that, but you know how they go. They typically roll out the red carpet this week, and deservedly so, particularly given this is, unlike last year, the only home playoff game, likely the only home playoff game that will take place in Baltimore. Well, Derrick Henry, of course, putting the finishing touches as he did this past weekend on year 1 of his regular season in Baltimore alongside Lamar Jackson. And I think some of the national conversation, not just since the MVP dialogue began, but really since Derrick came to Baltimore, is that, how can Lamar be an MVP-worthy candidate with a Hall of Famer, a first-ballot Hall of Famer, I would think, in his own backfield? And as we've discussed over and over and over again, they are complementary for one another. And reporters asked King Henry earlier today, point blank, do you feel like, and have you heard some of the criticism that your sheer presence alone has taken away in the minds of some from Lamar's MV3 candidacy? The King didn't mince his words. Listen to this.
Just the best player in this league, and I feel like if anybody played against him, he's a benefit to any player, and I'm happy and glad to be able to play beside him, a future Hall of Famer, and he makes everything different for everybody. He's a dynamic player. You gotta respect his arm and his leg. So, with 8, you always got a chance. I mean, you can put anybody by Lamar and they're gonna have a hell of a year. That's just the type of player he is. My success shouldn't knock his, or vice versa. Lamar is one main reason why I came here, is to play with a Hall of Fame quarterback, MV caliber quarterback, and I've been seeing all the chatter. I think I forgot who said it. Celebrating too with him and Josh Allen. They both had hell of years. Hell of a year this year. So I feel like Lamar, in his case, I feel like his stats can be even better. I feel like he's the best player in the league, and it's only going to get better from here. But I don't feel like what I've done shouldn't hurt him. I feel like he's helped me even more.
The King taking a stand, again, responding to those who have used his presence to take away from Lamar's MV3 candidacy. Quote, "You could put anybody by Lamar, and they're going to have a hell of a year. That's the type of player he is. My success shouldn't knock his. Lamar's the main reason why I came here to play with a Hall of Fame quarterback." Well, one future Hall of Fame quarterback, as we covered earlier today on our Ravens Lunch Hour live stream, who ranked Lamar atop his list of quarterbacks for the 2024-2025 rankings and evaluations among those that have played that position is Big Ben Roethlisberger. And I'm sure some of you still view him as the villain. You can't picture him as anything else, and I understand that. But I think you'll probably also understand that you can get behind his rankings when he took a look at the top 7 for this year at the quarterback position.
This list is tricky because it's this year. It's not who do I think is the best quarterback in the NFL, or it's who do I think played the best this year. Doesn't necessarily mean they had the best stats. Maybe they led their team to victories. Maybe they won a lot of games. Maybe they won with less. Who knows what it is? But this is who I think played, in my opinion, the top 7 quarterbacks in the league this year. Starting from 7 to 1, Justin Herbert. Number 6, Sam Darnold. Number 5, Jared Goff. Number 4, Patrick Mahomes. Number 3, Josh Allen. Number 2, Joe Burrow. And number 1, Lamar Jackson.
Before I react to those rankings, Big Ben wants no part as a Steelers fan of seeing the Ravens this upcoming weekend.
Be going into the postseason the right direction. Okay, so you can pull some comparisons of us. This Steelers team this year, right, going in at the 6th seed. The Pittsburgh Steelers in 2006 went in at the 6th seed too. Okay, the difference in the two teams are people are like, yeah, let's go, we can do it again. The difference is we went in, we snuck in, right? We had to win, I think, our last 3 or 4, maybe. We had to win some games to get in, and we did that. We were trending in the right direction. This Pittsburgh Steelers team, has lost 4 in a row. They're going the wrong direction. Same thing as like Baltimore right now. Like I think that's why I said I didn't want to go play Baltimore. I know there's a lot of fans out there and a lot of people are talking about we're excited to play Baltimore, and I get it. I understand it. I think Chef Evans excited about Baltimore. We'll ask him. But that team's playing good football right now. Their quarterback is ridiculous. I mean, we know he is, but he's ridiculous. And their defense, which was their Achilles heel, is actually playing pretty good right now.
Yeah.
They're going in trending the right direction. We're going to the postseason trending in the wrong direction.
Generally speaking, I agree with those sentiments. Obviously, Pittsburgh, 6 of the last 8 games that they played in the regular season were in-division opponents, and the 2 that weren't, oh, by the way, were just Philadelphia and Kansas City. And, of course, they limped to the finish line. They are limping into the postseason. They lost their last 4, Philly, Baltimore, Kansas City, and Cincinnati. The Ravens, of course, won their last 4, and both teams had bye weeks at a similar time. Now, actually, check that. Pittsburgh's was back in week 9. What they both did, though, was play 3 games in 11 days, and we know that the Ravens weathered that storm perfectly, and now, they enter the postseason hot as anybody, not named the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, with that, though, I almost feel like you just throw momentum, throw everything that took place over the last month out the window when these two teams meet. I will give the Ravens the advantage, and I know that the Ravens certainly looked good 4 days prior to Christmas when they hosted the Steelers, much better than they did earlier this season, I think it was in mid-November or so when they went to Pittsburgh, and just it was self-inflicted wound after self-inflicted wound. But for the most part, you throw out any of those circumstances prior to these two teams meeting up. I do think that the Steelers aren't capable of scoring with the Ravens just due to some of their inefficiencies offensively speaking. They really are lacking a passing game right now, and George Pickens is coming off one of the worst career games he's ever put on tape, and he was doing all kinds of stuff in game last weekend, like John at fans in game, dropping the football from Russell Wilson. Like, they got a lot of issues going on right now. But one thing you know for sure is they're going to sell out to make sure they stop Mark Andrews. They're going to keep Lamar Jackson in check. But can they keep both Lamar and Derrick in check if used properly? And my gut tells me no. And I think the Ravens find a way to win this game. We'll do predictions and actual scores coming up later this week. But if you don't think that Lamar and Derrick are ready to go after listening to this clip right here, I got nothing for you.
No game possibly on Saturday.
It don't matter. I'm ready for any game.
Cold weather games?
I don't care. We got to play. Whether it's cold, raining, hot, I go out there and get the job done.
Run that back once more.
No game possibly on Saturday.
It don't matter. I'm ready for any game.
Cold weather games?
I don't care. We got to play. Whether it's cold, raining, hot, I go out there and get the job done.
Those boys feel like they're ready to go. And to get back to Big Ben's top 7 quarterback rankings from the 2024-25 regular season, Lamar, of course, topped his list. Joe Burrow was 2. Josh Allen was 3. So just keep that in mind. Tory Smith earlier today, by the way. And you know what? Let's actually throw this up here because Tory Smith, former Ravens wide receiver, tweeted out the following earlier. And Sarah and I just briefly mentioned it. But just to revisit it here quickly, I felt like this was notable because Tory obviously was a player himself and a pretty darn good one at that, a multi-time Super Bowl champion winning wide receiver, one of which was captured during his time in Baltimore, the other in Philadelphia. But earlier today, he tweeted out, if the actual players voted for MVP, it would be Lamar by a landslide, but they don't, and the media does. Funny how the people that have to game plan and compete against the players think. Coaches too. That from the beloved Tory Smith. And maybe he's right. But the reality of this award and the way that it's constructed and decided on is that it is mostly distinguished media members. Some, yes, have a player background. Tom Brady being one of them, I would think, this year. Dan Orlovsky being another, who we know is going in favor of Josh Allen after doubling down on comments that he's made over the course of the last month or so. But interesting stuff there from Tory. And while MVPs absolutely help decide player legacies and whatnot, obviously Super Bowl championships, Super Bowl titles are the be-all, end-all. I'm not saying that MVP is watered down like the Pro Bowl honor appears to be at this point. I remember J.J. Watt just a week or so ago when those announcements came out said something along the lines of, you know, the Pro Bowl rosters are announced prior to the end of the regular season. And he's like, that's all you need to know about that. Point taken. But the reality is for Lamar, he's got bigger fish to fry. But I think the reason why we continue to harp on this is because you want to obviously make sure that the framework of the award, the integrity of the award, is kept intact. And I think that's probably why Sarah has been pounding the table all along as well, because, again, there is obviously rich history surrounding this award, deservedly so. Speaking of awards, Pro Football Focus has started to divvy them up, and their 2024 Offensive Player of the Year is Lamar Jackson. Over 4,100 passing yards, over 900 rushing yards, 45 total touchdowns, and a turnover-worthy play rate percentage of 1.4. More statistics here from PFF that speak to Lamar's greatness this year. Among quarterbacks this season, he had 37 rushes of 10-plus yards. That ranked first. And guess what? It ranked third among all players. Okay, so the first line there is looking at quarterback rankings. And then he ranks third among all players. What about 27 touchdowns on 10-plus yard throws? That ranked first among quarterbacks. And that was 6 more than anyone else. So, yeah, he was special. He was generational. And I think the word that continues to kind of come up that speaks to his candidacy more than anything else, given his track record, is transformative. I think that's the perfect word for him. Transformative. Thank you guys for being here. Over 700 of you concurrently watching this evening. It's 5:49 Eastern here. Let me know where you guys are watching from tonight. Like the video if you haven't already done so. Subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell so you can be notified of when I'm dropping my daily live content. These simple things go a long way, of course, in helping me build what I'm building for you on a daily basis, as does the support and sponsorship of Preston Automotive Group. And at Preston, Bobby Baltimore subscribers receive 2 exclusive offers, one being $500 to you that can go towards a new or pre-owned vehicle, or when you buy 4 tires, you'll receive 50% off your alignment. You've got over 2,000 vehicles to shop from. Home delivery is available. You'll be joining the Preston team along with Ravens safety Kyle Hamilton, tight end Mark Andrews, myself as a brand ambassador over the last 14 months, and many more throughout the Baltimore area and beyond. Cars cost less with Preston. You can get started today by visiting PrestonMotor.com or just simply scan the QR code that you see in the upper right-hand corner. And how about this, too? I just saw that Mark Andrews stopped by the Preston dealership the other day. And Preston Automotive Group, this is their official Instagram. And here they said, our partner in Baltimore football tight end, Mark Andrews, made one lucky customer's dream come true by signing the truck that they purchased, the very truck he's been driving from Preston Ford of Aberdeen, one of the many locations that they have in the Baltimore area that's at your beck and call. Awesome of 89 to do that. There it is. Mark Andrews signing his truck. Pretty dope. And of course, number 89 has had just a tremendous season. Maybe not in receiving yards for where he typically is, but 11 total touchdowns, broke a single season record for him. And after a slow start, you just got to tip your cap to number 89. And of course, tip your cap to Todd Monken, who has found a way to somehow, some way, put all this together and make it a fine-tuned puzzle. And I think that's probably the reason why over the last 24 hours he's gotten already, and maybe just more is on the way, 2 head coaching vacancy interview requests. One from Chicago, one from Jacksonville. We'll get to that in just a bit. Today's injury report came out just about an hour ago, maybe less than that at this point. And Zay Flowers atop this list with a knee. He was the lone DNP, did not practice on Tuesday. Kyle Hamilton popped up with a knee as well, but he was limited. You better believe he'll be ready to go. Deontay Hardy, return specialist who was brought in at the latter half of free agency last summer, also has a knee, but he was a full participant. Perhaps that's an option for the Ravens, should he be able to go coming up on Saturday to do some return work for them, a position that's really been unsettled, particularly at punt returner. Justice Hill, who's been dealing with a concussion and an illness in recent days, recent weeks, was limited. It's notable that he is out of concussion protocol, or I should say this, he's out no longer experiencing concussion symptoms, but the illness has kept him on this list and perhaps even on protocol, in protocol. So anyway, we'll see what happens with Justice throughout this week. Obviously, you want him just because of the depth that he gives you at running back. And hopefully they continue to give Keaton Mitchell some carries here and there, and especially some return duties, because his 47-yard burst against Cleveland the other day was something to see. All things considered, entering the postseason with a list that is this brief, that's this short, I think the Ravens, there's a lot to like about that, especially given their past issues with availability or lack thereof. As far as Pittsburgh's concerned, they had one DNP, and it was Cameron Hayward with an illness. I should say they had 2. Isaac Sumalo, an offensive lineman, just an NIR for rest. Aside from that, they're going to be good to go here. Calvin Anderson, he was a full participant. Dante Jackson, he's been banged up in recent weeks with a back. He was a full participant. The rookie, Roman Wilson, wide receiver, hamstring, full participant. So both teams, for the most part, And it's notable, Justin Fields is off this list. He's been dealing with an abdominal issue in recent weeks. And why do I say that's notable? Because the Steelers used him in a couple packages. What was that, the first time around or the second time around? I can't remember if it was the first or second, but he was a factor in one of those games against Baltimore. I want to say it was the first. Don't quote me on that. When was he doing those QB sneaks, those QB option plays? Help me out, Chad. Was it round 1 or round 2 that was taking place? Anywho, he's off the list. He'll be an available option for Mike Tomlin if he wants to kind of dive into the trickery. But moral of the story, these two rivals are relatively in good shape going into this do-or-die playoff game wild card weekend. Now, Zay Flowers is on this list, and that remains notable because the national reports that are out there from a Ian Rappaport, say, noted that it's a knee sprain. That's what ruled him out of Saturday's game against Cleveland. Luckily, it wasn't a non-contact, and as John Harbaugh confirmed earlier this week at his press conference, it's not season-ending either. Kyle Van Noy, for what it's worth, his teammate, and one of the veterans on the defensive side of the ball, on his podcast, McCoy and Van Noy, had this to say about Zay's status.
Banged up, but knowing Zay, he's played when he hasn't practiced. He's a tough little sucker, bro. He's from Broward County too. You know how those Broward County kids, they for real over there down in Florida. They love football, and he's gonna do everything he can to play. I'm going into expecting to see him on Sunday, just knowing who he is as a person and him as his competitive nature. We'll see, but that's I'm going in knowing that I got him in the game. That's for sure.
So, ode of confidence from Kyle Van Noy, quote, I'm going into it expecting to see him on Sunday, which he really meant Saturday. Just knowing who he is as a person, I'm going in knowing I got him in the game. That's for sure. Well, reporters like Kyle Phoenix on X sharing a short while ago during his visit up at Under Armour Performance Center, one winning drive, that Zay Flowers was spotted walking in the locker room with a minor brace on his knee. So that's where things are at. He was a DNP. He was seen with a brace. You'd like to think that the Ravens are more than capable of getting past Pittsburgh without Zay. But remember, he is really used in a variety of ways for Todd Monken. Sometimes it's just eye candy, having to account for just his presence, right? The jet sweeps, the misdirection, the motions. I mean, there's nobody that probably logs more steps than Zay Flowers throughout a football game for the Ravens. He is constantly on the move, constantly involved in plays, whether it be directly or indirectly. And so their offense clearly is different without him, but they've never been more prepared, more stocked to have a injury like this pop up than they are right now. They've got playmaking ability all throughout the field. And as long as you take care of the football, run it effectively with the king and your complementary pieces in that backfield, and play clean, disciplined football, the Ravens are going to emerge victorious. I feel confident about that. That's where things currently stand with Zay Flowers. It'll be something to watch throughout the week. I would not be surprised if they don't want to push it and it ends up coming down to a pregame workout or something along those lines come Saturday. He is too valuable to where this team wants to go and how they're going to get there if you're not careful. A big reason as to why they've gotten here, of course, is due to the play calling of Todd Monken. And as we learned yesterday, the Chicago Bears put in a request to interview Todd, that is, for their head coaching job. And they are now one of two teams, as we learned earlier this morning, that have done so. The Jacksonville Jaguars parted ways with Doug Peterson recently. And of course, Chicago let Matt Eberflus go in season as well. So Jacksonville named Todd Monken to a pretty lengthy list here of candidates that includes Kellen Moore, Joe Brady, Liam Cohen, Ben Johnson, Aaron Glenn from the Detroit side of things. Both of those guys you'd like to think are going to be highly sought after. Patrick Graham and Robert Saleh, who, of course, was let go in season by the New York Jets in what became just a tumultuous year for that football program, as we all know. Aside from this, another vacancy has just popped up in this maybe a couple hours ago now. The Raiders letting Antonio Pierce go, a.k.a. a one and done for Vegas. And that means as Field Yates tallies up so far, there are now 6 NFL coaching vacancies across the league, Chicago and Jacksonville being 2 of them, the Jets being another, being that Jeff Ulrich is an interim. I'm sure he'll get an interview, but can't imagine he's going to be a serious candidate. Rex Ryan among many who they've already interviewed. I believe that took place today. The Patriots being another, having let go of Gerard Mayo. The Raiders, as you see here on the screen, and the Saints, who I believe had an interim coach in for them as well when they let Dennis Allen go. And as Field also notes, the Cowboys loom as another team with a coaching situation to watch, given Mike McCarthy's contract status. So the reason why I bring this up is just because obviously Todd Monken is seen as a candidate that is a very compelling one because of what he's accomplished so far in 2 regular seasons with Baltimore, taking them to new heights. And don't be surprised if a couple other of these teams, aside from Chicago and Jacksonville, are interested in giving Todd Monken a shout. And that is that. Thank you guys for being with me here tonight, 6 o'clock Eastern. Please like the video if you haven't already done so. Subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell so you can be notified of when I'm dropping my daily live content. And join the recently revamped and seems to be ever-growing Bobby Baltimore Discord server. It's a 24/7 hub for conversations surrounding Baltimore sports. And there is constant chatter in here. Rob noting what we just discussed, that Zay Flowers was spotted in the locker room with a minor brace on his knee. I look at Chris mixing it up in here, as she so often does. By the way, we have a new moderator. So thanks to Just a Bit Outside, who's going to be handling a lot of the spam and the betting bullshit that's been in here. I appreciate that. Just a Bit Outside. I don't have to come up with a nickname with you because that sounds a little clunky. But it's a free, again, this is free. We have over 600 members. We're coming up on 700. And it's just constant conversation about Baltimore sports. A lot of times it's about life. I think we all learned that earlier today when I started spewing everything about everything. You can join for free by clicking on the link that I just dropped into the chat. There's also a link that's included in the show notes as well. We don't just talk football. There's a lot of off-season baseball chatter in here as well, which is always fun. You can show your swag and merch that you get in here. A lot of people choose to do that every so often. And you can make suggestions. You can leave voice chats. I feel like we need to do that. Honestly, we should start making this a little bit. Oh boy, microphone access is denied. No, I don't want that. Never mind. So anyway, would love for you guys to join. It's a great way to interact with other fans. And it's a fun time to get to know me a little bit as well. Holly recruiting hard. Appreciate that. All right, I promised. Let's open up the guest lines. It's been a minute since I've done it, so let's do it. Guest lines are open. Links in the chat. I'll pin it right now to make sure you guys can see it. And if you're in the Twitter space and you want to pop on the show, please do so by popping over to YouTube. Just hit the 21. No, we hit 21,000 over on the vault, right? So coming up on 25,000 here in this channel. Would love for you to help me get to that number. And let's make sure we pin this comment right here so everybody can see what it is that we're working with. Hey, how about this too? This is kind of exciting. I hadn't seen this, Dave. What up, Dave? Shout out to PRMI helping me and my family purchase our first home with the Bobby Baltimore discount code. That fires me up right there. Let's go. Dave, congratulations, man. I might be right behind you. I'm thinking about doing that in my off season. There really is no off season when it comes to football because of the schedule release, draft prep, free agency, so on and so forth. But part of me kind of wants to dive into that. And Dave is motivating me right now to do so. Now, what Dave's referring to, just in case you aren't aware, is that up until February 9th, so just over a month from now, primary residential mortgage is going to cover your closing costs as a Bobby Baltimore subscriber, up to $750. These are on applications, 4 applications that are submitted by February 9th of 2025. So I've been told by PRMI that one of you recently took advantage. I now know who that is. Congratulations, Dave. That's exciting. Guest lines are open. Let's do it. I know this guy's been scratching and clawing to get in here. He refers to himself as a number of things. We'll see what that is tonight. We'll go down to Mexico City and hear about the most budding, blossoming friendship you will ever hear about. And that is Mike and Manny. Manny and Mike, the M&Ms. Good to see you, brother. Happy New Year.
Hey, Happy New Year, man. M&M's, that's a new one.
That's right. Sometimes it just rolls off the tongue.
Hey, if it's easy, it's easy. I'm still here in Houston, so.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I'm still here. I'm just helping with the family with some stuff over here, so I don't know. I'll tell you when I'm in Mexico City, so you get it right.
Please do. Please do. And I'm glad that you have some outlets there, some friendship networks going on through our channels in Houston. So what's on your mind tonight?
What's on my mind? A lot of things. First off,
me too. Could you tell earlier today? I mean, could you tell I had some stuff on my mind around the hour and a half mark of today's 2-hour show, which is supposed to be an hour? Just not to interject, but could anybody tell that I had some stuff on my mind? Continue.
Yeah, I mean, you had a lot, but Sarah was right. Why don't you say to girls, hey, I have a podcast talking about important people. Just say important people,
You know what?
Because
it's probably a me problem. It's probably a me problem. Let's be honest. Continue. I've made you lose your train of thought.
That's okay. Well, this game is going to be one day before my birthday, January 12th, and we all know that Mile High Miracle happened that day. And like I told Mike, before Flacco threw that pass, I was like, please let them win as a birthday wish. The rest is history.
Okay. So what you're saying is you have some power behind this day of birth wish list that you compile on a yearly basis. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So if they play close to my birth, like 11 or on my birthday, hey, let's make it. And it's, what's funny is that what we were discussing, not only Mike and I, with a group of the tailgate over here in Houston, but also on the Discord, there's so many coincidences 12 years ago. Someone died from the organization. A tragedy happens before the season even starts in Baltimore. You got issues on the defense. There was issues on the defense 12 years ago when Ray Lewis went down. You got your offensive woes at the beginning of it. Over here, it's almost at the middle as well. So many things in parallel. And right now, the playoffs, it's almost like that. It's like we're going against a gauntlet of the wannabe MVP, the Tom Brady of the Lamar era, and whoever's on the next side on the NFC. So too many coincidences.
You know what's really funny? I think I just activated on accident. Can somebody hear me in the Discord?
Oh, let me check if you have your mic on.
I think I just accidentally activated my voice feature.
Yes.
Or something on Discord, and somebody just tried to talk to me.
Your mic is muted on Discord.
Oh, it's muted on because somebody just started speaking to me, and I was hearing voices in my head. All right, let's go ahead and disconnect here. We'll do that later. Now that I know we can do it. How did the call go? Tell us about your experience. Horrible. All right. We'll get back to sorry. That just freaked me out for a second. I was like, who the hell is talking to me? Anyway, Manny, great to see you, brother. I'll catch up with you soon. Happy early birthday. We'll get you back on prior to that, or hope maybe after it, to make sure you get your love. And,
yeah. I'll be on pregame with the. I already approved the strategy. We Mike already went for the belt on Hot Topic. You know that those belts with spikes.
Yeah.
So we're ready. We're ready to belt to butt. I
got to apologize on something before we get you out of here. I didn't even see that you were in the waiting room until like 30 minutes into Jimmy Smith's interview. So you are a patient man. Sorry we couldn't get around to it. We will. Actually, no promises this week because Saturday is going to be insane at the Be More Around Town tailgate. They're having multiple DJs, multiple bands. It's going to be an absolute bloodbath out there. So we'll do our best. But I'll catch up with you soon. Happy early one, brother.
All right. Thanks. See you later.
All right, later. Manny down in Houston, not Mexico City at the moment. Let's go up to PA where my friend Justin Holt joins me. Good to see you, my friend. How are you?
Can you hear me, Bobby?
You know it loud and clear.
I can't hear you, man. I don't know what's going on.
All right, we'll get back to you. We'll go to Jewel now. What's up, dude? What's up, stranger?
Hey, Bobby. What's going on, man?
Not too much, man. Happy New Year, belated, and I know you had a tough weekend and whatnot. So hopefully you and your family are doing well. But what's on your mind tonight?
Yeah. I just wanted to let everybody know that this is, it's my grandmother right here. She's the one that passed away. Very beautiful.
Yeah, ready? Let's give her. Hold on now. Let's give her due here. Stand by. Let's give her due. There you go. You're on the big screen.
All right, this is her. This is my lovely grandmother, Trinidadian own right here. So she's been everything to me, and I definitely will miss her. And we laid her to rest today, and it was really tough, But I know she's peace. She's at peace now. So
today you guys had the funeral.
Yeah, we had the burial. We had the funeral Saturday, and then the final burial was today. So this is her.
Well, they did an incredible job on that cover. I'm sure she was an amazing person, and now it's up to you to continue that legacy, brother. God bless you.
Absolutely. So a couple things. I did promise you guys that I was going to show you my sister, so she's right there. There she is.
Oh, you're gonna do her like that? Couch chilling. What's going on, sis? What's her name?
It's Delia. She's the one that you heard that day.
Oh, wait. Can you say it again? Her name?
Delia.
Delia.
Yeah.
Hey, Delia, can you come on the screen for a second? We got a lot of questions.
Questions about what? Wilson.
All right, so 800 plus people want to know, and I'm just going to speak on behalf of them right now. How loud do you get when you get going?
I don't know. That wasn't loud to me.
Julian, I think they're going to need her at the bank come Saturday night for sure.
She will knock somebody out. Trust me. I wouldn't try her at all. So she's like that. But anyway, she's
right, so that's your sister, and then who's the youngster running around?
Oh, that's my little nephew. He's trying to tackle me. He's in the football. So
all right, come on now, get him on now. We got to meet the whole Chambers family before we continue.
Hey, Darius, come here. Because you want to tackle me, so that's my nephew.
What's up, Darius? How you doing?
Hi.
Hey, so what's your uncle all about? How big of a Ravens fan would you say he is?
Tell the truth. You know I mean.
100%.
Yeah, exactly. That's right.
Look at the PJs too. My man is ready.
Yeah.
Hey, did you do any sledding or any snow shoveling the last couple of days? Did you enjoy your snow day?
Yeah, he was just out in the snow, so he was definitely out there with my other nephew. So they had fun today.
I love it.
Yeah. So, but what
I always love it when they're absolutely nuts, and then the camera goes over to them, and then they freeze up.
Yeah. I know, Mark. So just one point, and I'm gonna let you go. So I know you got stuff to do. This Saturday, it's gonna be a little tricky one, but I don't believe this is gonna be a hard one. But at the same time, you never know with these Ravens Steelers games. Something always happens, and something always comes up. But I believe we will take care of business this weekend. I will be at that game, by the way, too. games. I was at the game last week. I'll be there again this week. So every time I've gone, they've won. So, a little bit of good luck going this week.
Keep the trend going, brother. I'm glad I had a
Yes,
chance to meet some of your crew over there. There's Darius getting back in the shot as well.
Oh, that's my second youngest nephew. So
wait a second now. Hold on.
That's my second youngest.
How many dudes are running around here?
That's it.
What we got here?
My oldest is not here, but you'll see him probably at next live stream.
Who we got here? He wants to say hi too.
He's a little upset.
Uh-oh.
Because he wanted milk and I told him no. So he's a little upset.
What are you talking about? I never asked for milk.
Anyway.
How's he supposed to get those bones going? What's his name, too? We all want to meet him.
His name is Ellison. This is my second.
Man.
Yeah,
Ellison and Darius are in the house. Ellison, what's your younger brother all about? How much energy he's got?
His aura is like 100.
Or he said
he's speaking aura. Look at these guys, man.
Yeah, I mean he just YouTube and all that other stuff. So they just pick up on that stuff.
Hey, Ellison, since you're clearly in the YouTube space, you ever watch our show when your uncle comes on?
Kinda.
Okay, and Darius is trying to get some camera love as well. Look at him, there he is.
Yeah, they want to be, But I'm gonna let you go, Bobby. I know you got stuff to do, and I'll catch you on the next live stream. Okay.
All right, brother. I'll talk to you soon. Right. Hey, and one thing that was confirmed tonight. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody on here is ever fucking around. Excuse my French. With Delia.
No.
She's a badass.
Yeah.
She's badass.
Yeah. She's a sleeping giant. Don't. Yeah.
You may need to bring her to the bank come Saturday night. The Ravens will be better for it. I'll talk to you soon.
You might see it. You might see it. All right, bye.
I'll talk to you. Excuse my French, but that's a badass right there. All right, off we go. Let's keep the lines are hot tonight. Over 800 of you joining me concurrently. Thank you for being here. Been an awesome start to the week. Sarah and I hit over what did we hit today? Over 8,600 concurrents. I mean, that's big time stuff. We may have gotten a new sponsor because of that viewership. So thank you guys for all the love. Well, let's go to Rick and then Justin and then Max. Rick, good to see you, man. Happy New Year.
How you doing, buddy?
Spring training. You're making me think. How many days till spring training? Who's counting?
I'm not sure. I know it's about a month before they report the pitchers and catchers.
Yep. But obviously more pressing things right now going on when it comes to Baltimore sports. So what's on your mind tonight?
Not much. Just thinking about our boys, hoping they can stay hot and keep it going.
Yeah. They're coming in as one of the hottest teams. But obviously, as I mentioned earlier on in the stream, really what you've done prior doesn't matter when it comes to Pittsburgh, Baltimore. I will be picking the Ravens. I haven't settled on the score yet, but to me, if you can play clean football, if you can, usage wise, make sure that Derrick just wears down that elite defensive front as much as possible. I think you can get past this team without Zay Flowers simply due to the amount of points. Pittsburgh can't move the ball. They just can't consistently move the ball. Pickens has been a problem for them. So I'll probably be taking the Ravens somewhere in that, 27-17 range, somewhere around there. Have you thought about a prediction yet?
Yeah, that's almost exactly where I was at. Pretty much a rerun of the last game. I'm hoping, momentum is everything. So we're hot and they're not. So that's a good thing for us right now.
Yeah, I'll tell you this too. Not to use my French here yet again, like I just did with Julian. I told everybody nobody would ever fuck with his sister. I think we probably all feel the same based on your backdrop. Where are you calling in from, and are you a hunter?
I used to be a hunter. I'm a retired hunter.
Okay.
The wife won't eat anything, so I stopped. I only hunted to eat. So
all right,
she stopped eating, and I'm in right on the border of Aberdeen and Bel Camp.
Okay.
I went to school with the Ripken boys. I'm sure you're familiar with them.
Absolutely.
I'm an old guy.
Absolutely. I've become relatively good buddies with Ryan as he's launched his career.
Great kid. Great kid.
Yeah.
I love him. I'm on the show all the time.
Oh, yeah? Good.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah, they got a good thing going. I used to rent their studio.
Oh, yeah?
He's been working out of there in Harbor East, and I kind of got my feet wet there and then decided to build my own over here in Canton. But one thing I can confidently tell you, I'm not going to be walking up to your front door unannounced. I know that.
Oh, I didn't even think about them stupid things up there. I usually do it in the living room. I'm sorry.
No. Hey, I think it's hysterical. I think it's hysterical. The chat is having a good time with it. That's the reason why I'm leaning into it.
I didn't mean to. I didn't even think about it. I usually do it in the living room in front of the sports stuff, but I just happened to set up in here real quick. I wasn't going to get on, but I hadn't really seen you around much, and I saw you, and I was like, well, you know what? I think I'm going to hop on and say hello.
Oh, I'm glad you did, Rick. I appreciate you for being here, and I hope you enjoy postseason.
I'm going to try. Just got to stay hot, baby.
All right. Your lips to God's ears. We'll talk to you soon, Rick. Appreciate you.
All right. Pleasure to meet you, buddy.
Likewise. Yeah, thanks for calling in. I love a good first-time caller. Max, if you're ready to go, we'll bring you on here as well. I see your camera off, or it was off, and then Justin will get to you. Hopefully that audio has been taken care of. Max looks like he's somewhere out west, Mountain Time. Where are you at? You called in before, haven't you?
You got it. It's been a while. I'm out here in Utah.
Oh, that's right. You're the Utah guy. That's right. Good to see him again, man. Happy New Year.
Good to see you too, Bobby T. How you doing?
I'm great, man. This is that kind of month where you just kind of bunker down and create as much as you possibly can. And that's probably one of the reasons why Sarah and I decided to go 2 freaking hours today. Did you catch any of it?
I wasn't able to catch it. I got home from work, taking the dog on the walk, and saw you were on, so figured I'd hop on for a little bit.
I'm glad you did on that Mountain Time. What's going on out there, and what's on your mind tonight?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, first off, shout out to Julian, his family. Prayers out for that. Hopped on right when you're saying that, so prayers out to them.
Yep.
Of course, but Bobby. I got to tell you, man, I'm nervous for this game coming up. 9.5 point favorites at home against the Steelers. TJ Watt coming to town in the snow. In the snow. I don't know. Don't love what I'm smelling. I about as big a fan as Lamar as it gets, but Lamar in the playoffs still worries me. He's gotta prove it to me. I know other shit's happened, but yeah, I think they just get too amped up. Worries me if one thing goes wrong, shit's gonna hit the fan. But Bobby T, I gotta tell you, I'm nervous for this game, but I think if we get by this, we're looking real good. That long-winded, but the first round wild card game with this much potential, it's a nerve-wracking one. And I'm out here in Utah. I'm not on the field. So, what are you thinking? Talk me off the ledge.
Well, I hear you. I mean, the division draw, that's a tough draw when it's an in-division wild card game against a team that really has nothing to lose. Mike Tomlin hasn't won a playoff game. Actually, they do have a lot to lose, but you know what I mean? They're going to be desperate. They have not been playing good offensive football for weeks, if not months. George Pickens has not been reliable for them, particularly this past weekend. And we know how it goes. When Pittsburgh and Baltimore get together, it gets funky. It gets weird. It gets obscure. It gets strange, right? There's special teams circumstances. There is a Peyton Wilson kind of play when he wrestled it out of Justice Hill's arms earlier this year, which went down as one of Lamar Jackson's 4 interceptions, which obviously was insane. There has to be an asterisk around that, right? Especially the other ones as well, even though I nitpicked a little bit on the Mark Andrews one. I felt like it was a little bit out in front of Mark. But that's neither here nor there.
Yeah, they get
talk
lucky.
you off the ledge. I'll talk you off the ledge. I mean, you've seen, I think there was a concerted effort made this year. They'll never say it. They'll never say this, but I think there was a concerted effort made this year on Derrick Henry's usage. And I think they understood that while, sure, he tallied up over 1,900 yards, and of course that's good for second. Most years that'd be good for a rushing title, but when Saquon does what he did, which was historic in year one with Philadelphia, he's got to take the consolation prize. But this is King Henry's month, and I think you use him until you lose him. And honestly, he's under contract for another year. I don't think he's going anywhere. I think they can win this game without Zay. I don't think they can win a Super Bowl without Zay, which is nice to know that it wasn't a season ending. And that's what we learned, within the last 24 hours or so. I wouldn't be surprised if he suits up and is very, very limited and almost maybe even a non-factor. As I mentioned earlier on in the show, Zay's presence alone can sometimes be the most important from an eye candy standpoint. Misdirection, right? The jet sweeps, the motions. He's constantly on the move in the backfield, creating havoc for the opposing defense. So I think they can find a way to get past Pittsburgh without him being a key factor. But if history repeats itself, it's going to have to be somebody other than Mark Andrews, because the Steelers sell out to make sure that he's a non-factor pretty much every time they get together.
They do, and Mark Andrews has to come to play in the playoffs. And like I said, I'm confident for this game, and it's just 9.5 points at home against the Steelers. I feel like seen this movie before in the playoffs. One thing doesn't go well to start the game. I just hope this team's more mature in the past, but I think they will be. I think the calluses, quote unquote, will serve them well. But I'll tell you, Zay Flowers is playing in this game. He's playing in this game.
Okay.
He cut those dreads off. He had a knee brace on today. I saw that tweet. Like you said, the presence of him being on the field alone. He's playing in this game. That's my opinion.
Kyle Van Noy thinks so as well. So, Max, I appreciate you, man. Happy New Year. Enjoy the game this weekend, and hope to have you out and gone at some point.
Take care, brother. Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely. Live chat and waiting room is full right now. Appreciate you guys for being here. Let's give Justin another opportunity to get back in here. I feel like I owe you an email as well. Am I mistaking myself on that one? Can you hear me? What's going on, Justin, up in PA?
What's up, man? I was sorry about earlier. Right when you were about to put me on, somebody tried to call me, so it just kicked me off. I could see you, and you said you could hear me, but I couldn't hear you coming back. So
you're good.
Yeah, I sent you an email. I was just curious because I lucked out again. Last year, you remember I saw you, man, at the Be More Round Town versus the Texans. My brother bought me the ticket. I wasn't expecting to come down. I couldn't, I wasn't trying to spend that type of money. This year, my son won his fantasy league, and he's like, Dad, you want to go down? And this was before we knew it was the Steelers and everything. He got the tickets pretty cheap. He's like, you want to go? I said, yeah, man. I said, you buy the tickets. I'll buy the Be More Round Town tickets for us to come out. So we'll come out and see. And I was just curious because he's 22, but he don't drink. And I was wondering if there was a price difference if you don't drink alcohol. But I think it's just one price all around, whether you drink or not.
Oh, so he's not boozing. So honestly, I'd have to look into that a little bit, but hit me up. Maybe look at the site more. I'm not sure if there's any kind of corrections on that or not, but you and I can get together in a non-public setting to see if we can figure something out on that one.
That's all right. I've been on drinking my body weight in alcohol, so I could probably cover for him anyway.
There we go. What's on your mind elsewhere, man? What else you got going on?
Nothing, man. I know it's the Steelers and I know it's divisional, and I'm usually more nervous about it, but I don't know. I'm confident. My early prediction, I think 35-9. I don't think it's 5. I think that Henry's probably going to run one in. I think Lamar's, but I think they're field goals. I think Boswell's going to maybe get 3. I don't know. I have a feeling that, even though we went in and we won the division, I still feel like we're the underdog. Like how Lamar is the underdog in the MVP race. I think the Ravens they say we're tough, but I don't feel like they're still putting enough respect on our name. And I don't know, man. I just see they come skidding into the playoffs on 4 flat tires, the Steelers, and we're coming in hot. Our defense is playing better than it has all season. And as long as Monken doesn't try to get cute doing nothing stupid, just run the ball, play defense, and I hope we smash them. I mean, at least that's what I'm thinking.
All right. That's a whole lot of confidence for a Tuesday night. I like it, Justin. I look forward to seeing you out there this weekend. And then, sorry I never got back to you via email. Let me know if anything changes there and if you need any other clarification on the tickets and stuff. But I look forward to seeing you out there, brother. It's going to be an absolute zoo.
Who are you going to have? Is Jimmy Smith coming out? Do you know who's coming out guest-wise?
That is a great question. Let's go to the
Stav. You remember Stavros came out?
Oh, it was a who's who there. They actually just put this out earlier, so let's take a look. Let's do this real quick here. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's see. So that was one post, and then let's see. Here we go. Who is this again? Is this? Oh, Blake. Yeah, that's right, Blake. This guy's gonna be DJing, and he's dope. This guy's a filthy D. I really like him. And so let's see. Purple tailgate, indoor heated tents, which is exciting. What else is going on? Any player announcements yet? Yeah. So it looks like it's just the special guest DJ Blake, heated tents, and more announcements coming soon. So that's what's going on. I'll be out there. Look forward to it.
Well, I'll see you. I don't know. It opens at 3, I think 3 to 7 for the Be More Round Town. So me and my son will probably be there around, I don't know, quarter after 3, 3:30, something like that. So we'll see you in there, Bobby.
All right, brother. I can't wait.
Yep.
Safe travels down, man. Yep. I'll catch up with you soon. All right, a couple more here. Deshawn, and then 4-game winning streak. Is that zone down there just with the 4-game winning streak label? Okay, I thought that was zone. Deshawn, good to see you, brother. Happy New Year. I don't think you've called in before, but we've seen your name all over the place, so good to see you.
What's up, Bobby? I always want to call. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can.
All right. I always want to call in, but I'm always at the gym whenever you're doing your show. But no, I just want to call in and brag about my experience at work. So at the beginning of the season, so I work with a Steelers fan. And at the beginning of the season, we put a bet in together that, you know, there's whoever's team finishes higher in the division wins the bet. And, you know, I was hearing him talk shit all year, you know, all season long. And then right there, it was just awesome because, you know, kind of blew up in his face a little bit. But
well, you get to take a victory lap, and they're reeling and bleeding into the postseason. I mean, these guys are limping into the postseason.
He's mad. He wants Mike Tomlin fired and everything else. So
does he?
Been a great.
Listen, the funny part about that is he wants Mike Tomlin to be fired, and then you've got reports simultaneously that other teams want to trade for him to be their next head coach. So which one is it? You know,
he brings up a good. Like I kind of agree with him because I think Mike Tomlin's just kind of ran his course in Pittsburgh. I mean, they're just kind of in a rut. They just keep getting to the same spot, kind of like Baltimore does with, you know, championship, whatever. But I understand where he's coming from. It makes sense. I kind of agree with him. But no, I did want to add, my thing was OBJ. I think we should sign OBJ just for the simple fact that, you know, if Bateman goes down, you know, Zay's probably going to play. That's cool. I mean, I hope he does. But if Bateman goes down, then, you know, we're looking pretty thin. You know, no one wants to rely on Nelson Aguilar. No one can rely on OBJ either. But, you know, it'd be a cheap pickup, and I think it'd be a smart move for us to do. So I know, what is it? Today's the cutoff or tomorrow?
Honestly, I got to look at the cutoff on that one. I spent too much time focusing on the opportunity that Deontay Johnson missed out on. And I know it's in the past, and some people get upset when I bring it up, but this is the exact reason why they brought him in for basically nothing prior to the trade deadline in November. So, you know, all of a sudden you had multiple wide receiver injuries, including Nelson in concussion protocol for multiple weeks. And then of course, Zay now pops up. Like, had he just been shown a little bit of patience, he could have really shown himself out, not only, you know, in a postseason opportunity, but at the same time, two chances at his former team. But whatever, that's in the past. I hear you. Odell would be compelling. You would have thought it already been done by now if they were interested in, you know, a potential reuniting. But I appreciate you coming on, man. Safe travels out there, and thank you for always showing some love on the vault, man. We love it.
Yeah, just to add in, I'm another Columbus, Ohio Raven. So.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's your current residence?
Yeah, I've always lived in Ohio.
Oh, that's awesome. That's hysterical.
I grew up a Bengals fan, but they always sucked. So when I got,
you know what cracks me up too? Like, there have been a couple times that Sarah's told me about, like, just very random kids related activities that she's doing, you know, since she's got, you know, a mother of 4 and she's just constantly up to things over there. And somebody that was involved in the school, I think she actually told this story one time, like, recognized her. And you know her, like, she's private. She doesn't want to be recognized or anything like that. So I find it very funny that there's at least 2 Columbus, Ohio Ravens fans that listen to us. Gotta love that.
I think there's a lot, because I remember at one point there was like 5 or 6 people that came out and said they were in Columbus, and I think she should do a Columbus meetup for, you know, big game or whatever. But you know, she's private, so I get it.
I love it, man. Well, appreciate the call, dude.
Hey, I'll catch you. Have a good one.
Absolutely. You do as well. I know Zone's ready to go. He's standing up. He's not in his usual position, so I think we all got to kind of hang tight here for what could be coming. Zone, Happy New Year. You got a 4-game winning streak loading tag.
Absolutely.
What's going on? You're outside your usual position.
Yeah, man. Well, I came downstairs. They were already talking about it in the chat. We were talking about what we were cooking for dinner tonight. So it was my turn on the dinner. So while, you know, the show's going on, I'm listening to you. And it's people coming on, man, and they're talking about, they're worried about what's going to happen this Saturday So I had to log in, Bob. I had to log in. You know that over here in Zone 16 we're the ultimate homers. So it's like,
well, hey,
come on, guys. Y'all see the name right there. The 4-game winning streak is loading. I call in and I give Bobby and them the same prediction every year when the playoffs hit here without fail. The Ravens are about to make the run through the playoffs, and that's what's about to happen, man. Come on, guys.
You heard it here first. Now, here's the thing, though. All I'm focused on is what you're cooking up tonight. So what you got going on over there?
I got some black rice going on in there. Got some broccolini right here. Gonna cook up some things for the. Yeah. I like to eat plant-based, so not a lot of meat. Trying to keep my girlish figure.
I love it. Good for you, man. Well, I appreciate you calling in tonight.
Yeah, good stuff. But hey, go Ravens. And look, they're talking about getting OBJ and all of these added. The Ravens have everything they need, ladies and gentlemen. We don't need anything else. Everybody's been asking for Keaton Mitchell all year. Now here it is. Here's his time. So y'all heard you earlier, Bobby, talking about the jet sweeps, the screens. They can plug Keaton in to run that to run those motions. That they're not. Of course, they're not going to throw him the ball other than the automatic screen on the outside. With the real quick screen to the outside. But he can still run the motions. Give him that eye candy, and they're going to hand that thing off to Derrick Henry, man. They're going to pound that rock. We're running the Steelers out of the building, running them out of the bank.
I love it, man. I love the confidence, and I'm glad you called in tonight. And hey, I'm sure we'll talk to you between now and game time. So I'll catch up with you soon.
All right, man. Peace.
Later, Zone. Oh, I kind of like that meal that he's cooking up tonight, too. What's everybody else got for dinner? I see some chicken Alfredo for Justin. What else you guys got going on? Appreciate you for being here tonight. We went an hour, so I'm going to jump. I promised I'd open up the guest lines. We'll do it again. Maybe this week. Maybe not. We'll see how everything shakes out. A special thank you to Preston Automotive Group for the continued support that they've given me through this channel. You can go click on the link that's included in the show notes if you'd like to get started and you want to purchase a new or pre-owned vehicle at the start of the new year. So we'll catch up with you guys soon. And as always, like the video on the way out, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so, and hit that notification bell. We'll be back tomorrow, of course, including at 12 noon Eastern for an homage t-shirt giveaway. Sarah and I are going to be ready to roll. And we'll catch up with you then, if not before. Later, guys. Thanks for the love.